boys and girls. Well, today we're going to be taking a look at going to school. What was going to school like in the past, and what does going to school look like in the present? When someone talks about the past, it means that's happened. It's already done. You can't go back in time and change it. It's the past. And the past can be, like just an hour ago, or it might be a day ago. It might be a week ago. It might be a month ago. It might be a year ago, or it might even be hundreds of years ago. The present means what's happening right now. What's surrounding you? What are you doing right now? That's the present. The future is what's going to happen. What I could change about the future is maybe invent something that would solve a problem. That could happen in the future. But right now is what we call the present. It's happening right now. So let's find out what's going to school like in the past and what's going to school like right now in the present. It's a pretty interesting picture. You've got some children sitting at some desks writing on paper, and it's a black and white picture. And then you've got our child right here sitting with his laptop at his desk. Looks in the color. Looks a little different. Going to school. Table of contents. What does that table of contents tell me? Yes, you're right. I'm going to be getting some information, so be prepared to get another wrinkle. Things in the past have already happened. Things in the present are happening now. So I can compare and contrast the past and the present. And one of those photos I see is black and white, and it looks like all the girls are in dresses and have little aprons on, and the boys are wearing dark jackets. And here in the present, the children are also wearing uniforms, look a little different than the uniforms of the past. Some schools have uniforms, some do not. Schools have changed over time. Schools today are very different from schools in the past. So here we can see that we've got a teacher sitting behind her desk giving directions to the children. And here we have a teacher who is using a smartboard, something that we know uses electricity and has computer knowledge. In the past, most schools were small. Some had only one room. Today, many schools are very large. So we can tell that size is something that has changed from the past to the present. In the past, many children walked a long way to school. Today, many children ride in cars or buses to school. Okay, so there's something that's different. In the past, you had more children who walked to school, and in the present, you have children who come in cars, vans, buses, some on bikes, some on subways even. In the past, children of all ages were in the same class. Today, schools place children into different classes by their ages. So, in the past, all of the students were usually in one room if it was a one-room school, and they were all different ages. But now, schools tend to break the children into different classes based on their ages. So if you're in kindergarten, most of you are either 5 or 6. If you're in first grade, 6 or 7. If you're in second grade, 7 or 8, and so on and so on. So you get grouped by your ages. In the past, many children wrote on small blackboards. Today, children write on paper or type on computers. So in the past, it was very expensive to have paper. So they wrote on small blackboards with chalk and they could erase it. Actually, that's not a bad idea because then there's not going to be so much wasted paper that we have to either recycle or find another way to reuse. And nowadays, we try and use the computers to record work, and they also write on paper. So, a difference between the past and the present. And also, they use chalk, which sometimes was a bit dusty. And nowadays, we either use pencils, pens, or markers to record our work. In the past, schools had few books for the children to read. Today, school libraries have many books for children to read. In the past, there were not so many books, so they had to share a lot of the books, and books were very expensive, and you had to take care of them, and they had to last for many, many years. Now, we have media centers and libraries filled with books that we can share and take turns with. Lots of books for reading. In the past, children learned things by asking teachers and reading books. Today, children can use a computer to learn things. They can also ask teachers and they can also read books. So today, now you have electronic resources that you can use to extend your knowledge and get the answers you need to the questions or problems that you have. In the past, they did not have that as a resource. No computers. Sometimes schools didn't even have electricity, and they used fires to have warm classrooms where now we have air conditioning and heating. In the past, only some lucky children could go to school. Today, many children can go to school. So in the past, if you lived on a farm, sometimes you could not go to school because you had to help harvest the crops and work in the fields. And so only the children that were in the city would sometimes go to the schools. But nowadays, lots of different kinds of children from lots of different locations can go to school and get more knowledge. In the past, children enjoyed going to school. Today, children still enjoy going to school. So that's something that has not changed from the past to the present. Children still get to do fun things in school in both places and enjoy coming and sharing their knowledge. So now that we've looked at some things from the past and from the present, I want you to think about one thing that you like from the past, and then one thing that you like from the present. You know what? I kind of like the idea of all the ages being in the same room because then I could maybe ask a big kid to help me out with some information, or maybe I could be the one who helps a little kid learn something. Yeah, that seems kind of neat. But today, I definitely like being able to use a computer to get information right now that maybe I couldn't get in the past. So that's something I like for the present. Think about what's one thing you like from the past and what's one thing you like from the present.